G'day, Tom Gehrman, sales representative at Apex Results Realty located in Burlington, Ontario. I operate from Grimsby through to West Mississauga. This post is about aluminum wiring as an insurance issue. Aluminum wiring was used in Canada from approximately 1965 to 1973. That's approximately. Copper was going up in price. Builders needed something that was less expensive, and aluminum was an option they went with. They were given that option. Not all houses in that time frame were built with aluminum. You will still find lots of property out there that was built in that time frame that used copper. Also, you will find some places that may have been built toward the end of that when you would think, well, they weren't really using copper anymore in 1974 potentially or 75, but it may have been used. I'm not saying that's guaranteed. I'm just saying when you take a look at a property, you have to take a look at the breaker box, your power box there, take a look at the wiring coming out of it, and there's always a chance that a builder had a property in construction at that point, and it sat there for a little while. So, why is aluminum an issue? If I have aluminum in my house, is my house going to burn down? No, it shouldn't. It's been there for a very long time. Aluminum wiring, or any electrical wiring, over time will start to break down. If you treat it poorly, as in if your wiring is exposed in the basement and you're hanging things off of it, it may break down a little bit faster, but I mean you still have a nice long lifespan on it. Some of the concerns the insurance company have is we are using more and more power. We're no longer looking at 100 amp standard for properties. They're now talking 200 amp. Pushing more power through the aluminum wiring that runs throughout your house, it may not be able to handle the load eventually. I'm not an electrician. I'm not saying this is. I'm saying that if your aluminum wiring is very old and it's in bad shape, like any other wiring, it may be time to rewire it. Now, the concern here, when you're putting a purchase in, home inspector goes through and says there's silver wiring everywhere, and if he's qualified to comment on it, he says, no, it's aluminum wiring, which normally you can read the outside casing and it will say aluminum on it. Do not panic. All you need to do at that point is have an inspection done. I've had this done myself with clients in past. It does not matter if there's just a little bit of aluminum or the entire property is wired throughout with aluminum. You can have ESA come in. They take not very long. They go through the entire property. They will take a look for anything that is not to code. If the building is not to code, they will not issue a certificate saying you are good to go. You as a buyer cannot do this inspection. The seller must. So if you have aluminum in a building and you're purchasing it, let them know. If you want to be good about it, you can pay for the inspection itself. The certificate is a snapshot. If something's not to code, they'll have to fix it, bring it up to code, inspector comes back through, does a quick check, and not a problem. You get a certificate, give it to the insurance company, you will not have a problem. If you're ever doing any work, electrical wiring or different light fixtures, say is the one above my head here, in the house, make sure it is compatible with aluminum. If it is a copper fixture and you have aluminum wiring, just make sure the person who installs it knows what they're doing, properly pigtails it, and slathers enough of the goo on that they use to stop corrosion. So, is it a problem? It can be. Address it, deal with it, have it inspected. Clears it right up. The other concern, or the only concern you would have, is if you have a job done incorrectly when you put it in, say a copper light fixture, copper and aluminum together, not pigtailed, they haven't put their, again my technical term, goop on it, you get a bit of corrosion because different types of metal are touching each other, and that will cause additional resistance for the electricity going through, which can cause a heat load, and that could be a problem. Do you see houses burning down all over the place because of this? No, you don't. What you do see is the insurance companies have seen some problems in past, are concerned today. I want to make sure you're doing the right thing, so they are free and clear, and do not have to pay out some ridiculous amount because people didn't do the right thing and had fires. So the insurance company sets a standard higher. Anyway, I hope this helps. So aluminum wiring is not horrifically bad. It's not the end of the world. You can purchase a property and realize the certificate you get is a snapshot. It is one shot. So when you go to sell one day, as long as the codes and standards all stay the same, and the insurance companies are not panicking, in fact, you may see us going back to aluminum as copper keeps going up in price, you may simply have to have another inspection right around the time you're listing your property for sale in 10, 20, 30 years. Anyway, I hope this helps. Remember, anytime you have an issue can be dealt with. Concerns can be dealt with. All you need is the information and ask a few questions. Anyway, you take care, have yourselves a great day, and remember, always stay positive.